Welcome to CAD 112 Engineering Graphics, and this week we're going to continue talking about section views. Last week we done full sections. That's when you cut an object completely in two and you're able to see basically half of the object. It's called a full section because you cut the whole object in two. You cut the full object. Today we're going to talk about half sections. That means you're only going to be able to see half of the part, and you'll see what I'm talking about, and you're removing a quarter of it. So you're seeing half of the part in one of your orthographic views. So let's take a look. I want you to read this in your book. You've got two different books. One's the 14th edition, it's on 253, and then you have chapter 8 in the 15th edition, and it's on section 8.7. So please read that. It's just a few pages long. It will really help you to be able to identify what you're working on here. But we're going to go in and I want to show you, we've got two drawings. One of them is this. You're going to draw this with a half section. This one's in metric. Now, I know in AutoCAD we've made standard templates and standard inch templates. So what you can do is convert these numbers from millimeters to inches, and this is how you would do it. You got to grab yourself a calculator, and when you do that, just for instance, now there's one thing before we do that. You've got two dimensions here, and what that is you've got a minimum and a maximum number that this bore can be when they make it at the machine shop. So when you're drawing it, just either pick one, the low side or the high side, and draw it. That's fine. So you can just 53.95. Okay, put that in there. But anyhow, let's look at like this 25 millimeter. All you have to do is type in the millimeter 25 and times it by 0.03937 equals 0.984. Just go to the thousandths place, would be three places over, 0.984. And if this number is above 5, you can round up. So again, like 44, just take 44, times it by 0.03937, and it equals 1.732. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. If now you can draw it in metric if you want to set yourself up a new metric, layers and things of that sort, but you don't have to. You can use your standard template and put it into inches. That's fine. Now the next project is going to be 15B, and it's going to be this little part. And I've already got it drawed up, so I'm going to leave that on there like that. And throw it over here so I can see it. And you can see I've got the top view drawn, and here's the front view. This is what it would actually look like in its normal orthographic projection. And this is all I need. This would be the front view. This is the top view. I don't need a right side or left side view. This is enough to tell exactly what this thing would look like. So now you want to go through and put your, you'll start dimensioning this thing, but it would look better if I'd done a section view. You can cut this thing completely out, or you can come through here and do the half section. Now, if you do a full section, it would look something like that. Line would go all the way, the cutting plane would go all the way across, okay? But now on a half section, you would go from there, and then you'd have a line right here. And this would be your cutting plane, and then this would be the piece that you pull out. And then when this thing turns and comes down to the front view, you're only going to see half of the section. That's why it's called a section view. Even though you're pulling out a quarter of it, when you turn this thing over, you're seeing half of that part, its internal parts of it. So let's show you that real quick. And what I would do here is I've got to make myself, I don't have a layer set up with a cutting plane, so I'll make me one. Cutting plane, and I'll come over here and I'll do it like in a different color so it's easy to identify. And cutting planes are real heavy line weights. We'll go to like a 0.8 on that. And also the line type would be, most of the time they're phantom lines, okay? Or you can have like a hidden line, just a real heavy line weight. So I put that in there. I'm going to set that current, and now I'll grab this and I want to change that layer to my cutting plane. And if it doesn't show up real good, you can always go to your properties and you can set your line type scale. Now, I'm for some reason I opened up a civil template, so I've really got to change my scale big time on this one. That looks pretty good. It might be a little bit too small. That looks a little better. And I want to put my arrows on here, and of course your arrow would be going up this way, and then your arrow would be going this way. Really, you don't even need an arrow there. You just need an arrow going up this way. And how I do that a lot of times, I just hit like a dimension, and that dimension, that arrow is going to be pretty big because I've got this. I'm using a civil type of template. Explode that. I'll get rid of all this. I just want one of those arrows, and I can scale it down to make it fit to what I want. So I'm going to grab that. I will scale it down. I can eyeball it about what I want. That's good. And then all I have to do is just grab it, rotate it. Now if you're using your mechanical template, all your stuff should be scaled right. I'll bring this thing up here and catch that in point. So this, always what your arrow is pointing at is the side that you're going to keep, okay? And you just, this piece right here is going to be cut and going to be slung out. So when this thing rotates up, rotates down for the front view, all we got to do is come in here and I want to put line and just come down there to here and go to right there. Now this is going to be the same layer as my object line. It's going to be an object line. So I'm just going to properties. I want to match property. I'll make it the same as this, just like that. And then you'll notice real quick, these are hidden lines, or they was hidden lines, but this is cut now. So what you got to do, this now will become, if you look up here, this will become object lines. So I grab this, I grab this, and this one right here is going all the way through. So I just grab this one, and this one, and I want to make that object lines. Let's see if I've got any object lines on here. It's my civil template. So what I'll do is I'll just actually match property. I'll grab that, and I'll go ahead and change these. And like this one down here, it went all the way across. There's different ways. You can go to modify and break at point. Grab that line, then come here and break that, and then grab this and change that now into a hidden line. And I'll change it. Well, actually, I could change it there, or I can just do properties and match, and that way I'll have the same line type, just like that. So this side over here didn't get cut, so whenever it rotates down, it's still going to look like its normal orthographic projection with hidden lines in it. Now, over here, this has been cut. Anything that this line cuts is going to have section lines. So as it comes across from here to here is open, so there'll be no cuts here. It'll start from here to here will be cut, and then it'll actually, down at the bottom, it'll come over to that hole, and it'll stop right there. So I just come up here to hatch, and this one didn't have no specific material to it, so I'm just going to go up here, hatch pattern, and I'll just do a generic pattern. Click in there just like that, and that's it. That right there is all. And remember, section lines are real thin, so so just default them on your line weights, and basically that is what that is going to look like right there whenever you do that section. And don't forget to put your designators on here, and when you just go into text, we'll call this one A, cap lock that A, and we'll put it right here beside of it, A, and then you could put Right down here we can actually do another copy. Grab that A and put another A here. That'll kind of show exactly. That'll show exactly where that cutting plane is, AA. And down here, I just like to use copy, grab that, bring it down here under it, and I would put, double click it to open it up, and I want to type in section A, and we'll pull that back, and you make sure that you use the correct layers and everything. And right there is your half section, and always just come over here and put it into your layout, and make sure that you do that. Go to your layout and polygonal, and we'll go ahead and dump all this in. Got a couple extra lines there. I delete those out. Zoom this in, make it look nice and neat, and you got to put all your dimensions that you would need. If I do 1-to-1 scale, can I fit it in there? Yeah, boy, that looks good. And make sure you have enough room, and you have to go in there and adjust on pull some things up like this. You can do that. And you can be able to put that in there. Make sure you get all your dimensions. Fill out your title box. Make sure you put your scale in and all that, your name, the project number, and you've got that one completed. If you need any help with this, just contact me. Just email me or you can call me.